What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts. Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat.
Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still.
And it's
We're gonna be here all day.
all day.
I know what it is. It's your boy Pitts, Pitts on Play Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live from Hughes Stadium. Listen, man, defense is something to be reckoned with when it comes to Morgan State, and we got two of them with me today. Definitely appreciate them for taking their time out on this humid Saturday, as Eric already pointed out that Jadon got on the hoodie before we even got rolling. But I'll go ahead and, let's go ahead and start it off again. Shout out to Staples and Smart Water as sponsors for Pitts and Play Sports Talk Radio. Appreciate all that you do. Go to my left, we got Jadon Carter. If you can just give viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself.
Like you said, Jadon Carter. Play DB at Morgan State. I'm a transfer from Bowie State, so this year it's my last year, so I'm just trying to go out with a bang, put the conference on notice and the world on notice for real.
Absolutely. E Hunt.
How you doing? I'm Eric Hunter, also known as E40. I wear number 40. Play linebacker here at Morgan State University, going into my senior season. Last ride, same goals, same aspirations. Trying to get it done, take care of business on the field personally and as a team.
Absolutely. And so before we get started, I'm just going to, from left to right, just talk about how have the offseason been for you so far going into your senior year.
This off season for real, I just been focused on like perfecting my craft and like the little details for real. I'm trying to become more of a leader, whether that be vocally or leading by example. I just really been locked in this whole summer. I'm trying to get the job done this year.
Absolutely. For you, E?
I say for myself, it's just the same, making sure that I really just lock in on the small things that, I was not the best at the last time I was playing. So, block destruction, just being able to play faster by watching film, being able to can diagnose things faster.
Absolutely. And, last year, of course, things didn't go, the way that you expected. Dealt with some injuries last year. Last year, defense still ranked high. Regardless, every time there's a turnover, it seems like the mold and the identity of the defense stays the same, but even more, it continues to be consistent. Can you just talk about the defensive leadership that you guys have as a team?
Yeah, really it's just the culture, I would say. I say just the culture. We have a standard in our defensive room, and I say standard, not expectations, because if you don't meet the standard, then you won't be here really, or you won't be on the field.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely just a thing that we take pride in and making sure that we stay consistent and just reaching our standard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to piggyback on what he said, like it's really a team led program. Like in order to win, you got to come from the team. Like the coaches can tell us what to do, but at the end of the day, we out there on the field. So we just really trying to find the leaders, find the guys, and then just rally off them.
Absolutely. When we talk about this upcoming season, before we get to this upcoming season, actually, can you just talk about or just give a couple glimpses and highlights of, the leadership that both Coach Sewell and Coach Wilson has for the organization?
Coach Wilson, he's a good leader. Like he doesn't really like say too much unless he has to. But when it comes to Coach Sewell, he's really passionate. You can tell he cares about this game. He brings his all every day. So like come like being under a guy like that, it's hard not to like be locked in all the time.
Absolutely. And for you, if you can talk about linebacker coach, talk about Coach Fontenot, like just the whole defensive staff and the importance that they have and the intricate role that each of them played to making sure that at the end of the day, the defense gels together as one. Because, when you go off into individual drills and your individual roles is one thing, but to bring it all together the way they do, talk about their leadership as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I really would predicate that off of me being in the office with those guys a lot. It's a very intense situation when you walk in there, to be honest with you. It's really just more like we got a whole bunch of coaches that, got their own different ways to play the same song. But at the end of the day, it's all going to sound like one band, one sound by the time it's time to get it rolling. So, I mean, I really just say, whether those guys, some of the guys have shared offices, like linebacker and D-line coach. So it's like, we always together as a box, we always together as a back seven, and even bringing it all together, it's just always like, the D-line coach can understand that some stunts we can't do just because of the way we run the coverage behind it. They always on the same page. So I say, it's just, when you see your coaches click like that, it allows your players to click the same way.
Absolutely. When you talk about the type of leader that you are on the field, right? Because, for E, you can be vocal, you're a vocal leader as well as, leading. Jadon is more like, ever since I've been, knowing Jadon at Bowie State, he's just quiet. But, he's active, and he's always where he needs to be. Despite the odds. Just talk about from, from your point of vantage, what are or some of the characteristics that, you take to your game that you help as far as communication, being, the leader on the defense?
Yes, I can say really is, you got to build a threshold for guys. So, it's just like I said, it goes back to having a standard. So, if you're not really living by that standard, if you're speaking on something that, you're not really living by, it's hard to rally the troops all together. You know what I'm saying? So it's more just, it's not always about being a vocal leader, but just also just knowing how to approach guys, just knowing how to lead by example. Nobody wants to feel called out or embarrassed. So you got to learn how to approach every different person. And that just makes you a natural, a guy that people can gravitate to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jay?
I would say some of it's kind of the same thing. Like you said, I'm more of a lead by example type guy. So like what I try to do is like if I can't say nothing to somebody else if I'm not living the same way like he said. So it's really just like like I said, find the leaders, find the guys that we're gonna depend on, and then like just lift them up, lift them up, lift them up as you climb. Like for real, for real.
This season, right? You guys have. We'll talk about some of the new addition to coaches, right? That has spiced or gave a seems of an uptick, right, in the content that's coming from the MEAC. But this year, before we get to Dell State and Norfolk State, you guys get to play Miles College for the first time, at the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And you talk about what that experience is going to be like.
It's gonna be a great experience. I'm not I wasn't too familiar with Miles College before this, but I'm sure that they're like going to be taking as serious as anybody else on the schedule. It really doesn't matter anything else about it. Every game is one game at a time. The serious. The only focus that I've had really is South Alabama. But as far as being able to have that opportunity and that experience to play into an NFL stadium is something I'm really looking forward to.
Absolutely, and I understand. And for those who may not, South Alabama is the first opponent up. So basically, as a football saying is, never looking past the next opponent that you have. So that's why he made that statement for those who may not be aware.
Yeah, I would say it's big to play in an NFL stadium. The last time I think I played in an NFL stadium, I was like a little kid. I was at Raven Stadium, but like it's probably gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be different now that I'm in college for real. So, but like he said, you can't look past any opponent. They still gonna come try to win. So we just gotta take it one week at a time.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, when it comes to HBCU athletics, as I have, been a high and big boisterous advocate for, the media exposure isn't what it should be, right? So initially, Jackson State, when Dion was there was an uptick, but of course, we all knew that once Dion left, the media coverage would stop as well. Now we have, Mike Vick at Norfolk State and Deshaun Jackson at Dell State. What are some things that we can do to maximize these opportunities for HBCUs and the media exposure and the understanding that we too are just as successful on and off the field as the PWIs?
I want to. That's a good question. I really would say, this is a that's a thing that has been a topic for years, you could say. So Dion came, he did it big. Obviously, this is Vix and Jackson's first year here, so you know they can piggyback off of what Dion did and just see how they can take it, how they can build it, how they can bring. I heard they got their game in the Eagle Stadium this year, so
October 30th.
yeah. So it's just like just bringing that attention to HBCU football and even FCS football as a whole, because we think bigger. It's just we all can ball. Talent is everywhere, so it's just it's more so just not being belittled. And once you got a couple guys who already got a voice around the world can voice, hey, like, hey, I didn't been here. They got some guys down there that y'all got to go look at. People can turn their heads a little more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like Dion definitely put a spotlight on the HBCUs. But I also feel like that in order for us to like get noticed more, it starts off by televising our games on not just ESPN Plus, but like NBC, like the major ESPN, like the major networks. Instead of just trying to put us underneath, like you gotta have a password to watch our games. Like I feel like it starts there, and then it's ballers everywhere. We got ballers like HBCU, so we can all play. So it's like it starts off by there. That's how we get noticed.
For this being your both of you guys last year on the field, um, if you can give me a moment in past, that really sums up the last 4 years for you, that makes you even more excited about this upcoming season.
I mean, if I could really just put it all, in one word or one sentence, I'd just say unfinished. Unfinished. I mean, I got personal goals, selfish goals, and to be honest with you, it's unfinished. I haven't made it there. I haven't arrived, and as a team, we want to get to the highest of the highest. In HBCU, it's the Celebration Bowl. FCS is the FCS championship. So, we want to scratch and claw as hard as we can to get there. And yeah, that's really it.
Absolutely.
For me, I would say the moment when I won the CIAA's championship my freshman year. I know what it like. I know what it feels like to win. I know what a winning team looks like. So I just I want to see that with this team for my last year. I want to go out with a bang, and I also want to like put the Converse on notice. Like I'm not just the guy who catch picks. I can also tackle. I can cover your best receiver. I can play safety. I can play corner. I can play nickel. Like I'm trying to really do something this year and show everybody like just wake them up this year.
And for the last question, I wanted to talk about the support system, the fans, the student population. Um, what would be your encouragement to them for this upcoming season to continue to come and show support, but not just show support, to the alumni and all those who graduated, those who are looking to come here next year? What would be your message to them from a football player perspective as the support that they give?
I would really just say, man, come here. It's a HBCU. It's a culture. It's a band. It's food. Come to the games, because even if you're not even the biggest football fan, man, there's people here. It's an event. It's a daytime outing to be at. So if you don't got nothing to do, man, you in Baltimore, come to Hughes Stadium Saturdays. We here. And as far as message to my team goes, it's like the scoreboard up, man. So we get some people to come watch.
I would say for anybody coming in, like a new kid, I'm gonna say if you're a freshman, like take advantage of these the opportunities that you get. Like it goes by fast. In the blink of an eye, I was a senior already. Like so, like I'm just take advantage of every opportunity you have. And for the fans, like we need y'all support this year. We feed off y'all. Like even if y'all don't think we know, if y'all don't feel like it, we really feed off y'all. So let's just like he said, light up the scoreboard this year and let's do some big things this year.
Absolutely. Again, man, I wanted to take this moment and thank Eric and Jadon for coming and sitting with me. It's always a great moment when I get to see them. I enjoy coming here and spending time with them. It's not just a perspective of media content. It's also relationship building. And I appreciate everything, the love and the appreciation, and the reception that I get from you guys when I am on campus. I feel like I'm a part of the team as well. So I definitely appreciate you guys for having that trust, that in the safekeeping of the things that I put out, whether it's the photos or the interviews or whatnot. I definitely appreciate it. And before I wrap up, I can't let this moment pass You know, shout out to the Yarborough family. You know, rest in peace, Gavin. This year he would have graduated as a senior. You know, and I know his family is feeling some relief to the capturing of those who committed the heinous acts against him. But rest in peace, Gavin. Love you, bro. Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Hugh Stadium, Jadon Carter, Eric Hunter. Y'all know what it is. Set the track.